everyone. Welcome to At Home with Sally. I'm Sally Clarkson, and I have the biggest privilege in the world to be with so many friends from all over the world who join me every week to listen to my stories, inspiration, biblical encouragement, and I am just so glad that you're here today. Thanks so much for joining me. Hi, my friends. It's Sally Clarkson, and I already talked to you for a little bit today on my Tea Time Discipleship, and now, right in the middle of it, I said, Nathan, my sweet Nathan, who is not going to be here in the next few days. I'm going to miss him like crazy. I said, Nathan, you should be on my podcast today, Tea Time Discipleship. Do you have your cup of tea, Nathan?
I just finished my cup of coffee, but close enough.
Okay. Anyway, we all kind of gather around our tea and coffee. And I just love doing Tea Time Discipleship or Tea Time Tuesdays, because then I can talk about whatever I want and have lots of fun. But where are you right now? Show us in your words where you are, what you're doing. Let us picture you, because for me, it's dark and we're probably going to go have hamburgers in a pub in about an hour.
Well, that sounds like fun. Well, I will paint with my literary family's words. I am in your library here in Colorado. All of you are holding down the fort in the motherland of England. And me and my little wife went to Colorado to our lovely home here. And I'm sitting in your beautiful library, surrounded by books and all the things that you love. And we are just having such a blast here in Colorado. We miss you guys, of course, every day. But we are having fun hugging up Darcy and being in my childhood home. Well,
we just miss you all so much. But before you left, I told everybody that I put up stockings and dishes and stuff because I wanted you to feel welcome. It's a good thing that in the end, Nathan was going to come. Now he might come a little bit later, but we're having so much trouble with COVID over here again that we're all a little bit locked up. So we just wanted to have a time together today on my podcast. But Nathan, tell us the one thing that I've been getting a lot of notes about, and we'll go into lots of other things, but I keep getting encouragement from people. You won't believe this, but somebody from like 42 years ago in my life that I used to work on staff with in Austin, Texas, wrote me and said, I saw your son on a movie on Amazon. And so it was just kind of fun. So just at the top of the hour, tell us just a little tiny bit about that, and then we'll go into all sorts of other fun things too.
Well, yeah. Well, I have always loved Christmas, and as many people know, I'm a filmmaker and an actor. And so a couple of years ago, I filmed a Christmas movie, and it was filmed right here in our hometown of Monument, Colorado, at our local diner called the Coffee Cup.
Yes,
and
we've had meals there.
Oh, yes. Many a skillet. And so I wanted to make just a sweet, hopeful movie that takes place during Christmas. So it's a movie about people getting snowed in at a diner on Christmas Eve and how their stories all intertwine. And it's about finding hope and redemption through loneliness in a dark world. And it's something I made, and it's been so much fun to put it out and have people from everywhere see this little movie that we made right here in my hometown. It's called Miracle on Highway 34, and you can see it on Amazon or Tubi or Google Play or Apple Movies. But it's just been so much fun to get notes from people who have seen my Christmas movie, and I hope that all of you might get a chance to see it, because it really is just a little passion project, and it really was meant to bring warmth and light to people's Christmases, because I know it's been such a dark and difficult and chaotic couple of years. And that's really what I want to do with this little movie. So I'm so encouraged that you're getting notes and I'm getting notes. So please go check it out. Miracle on Highway 34.
Well, I have to just say a tiny little bit about it. Monument, where we live, was originally a stopping town. You would go from Colorado Springs up to this Monument Pass, which is pretty icy and snowy, the snowiest pass in the United States every year, believe it or not. And so Monument was this little town that you'd pull off on, and there's the diner, and they do fireworks every year. They do these little parades. It's just a lovely old-fashioned town. And so if you can picture that you are in this old-fashioned town with people who love one another, and yet lots of people stop from the highway because it used to be one of the only places to stop. And And so there's kind of a real natural background to this as we lived there, to meet the different people, to see the different stops, and to see the diners that are there. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. Oh, my goodness, Nathan. So tell me, you all have been cooking up a storm. I
Yes.
always am sharing recipes on this particular Tea Time Tuesday, which is kind of fun. I'll be sharing them my own recipes this week. But what have you been eating without me? Kelia is such a good cook. She cooked for me all summer while you were there and while I was trying to get my hip surgeryized.
Well, in lieu of hanging out with you guys, we are trying to make some of our own Christmas meals and traditions. And so we have invented a little dish. It's not that crazy, but it's pretty fun. We call it Christmas pasta with pan-seared chicken. And so our most recent favorite, and we're going to try to make it every year, although we might make it throughout the year, is we make some angel hair spaghetti.
Yes, your favorite, Daddy's favorite.
Oh, yeah. And we saute spinach and cherry tomatoes, which make it look like Christmas, of course, red and green, and onions. And we mix all that with a little butter and salt, and so good. And then we pan sear some chicken with some great seasoning, your favorite seasoning on it. And it's very simple, but it's really good. And so we have our new little Christmas meal tradition called Christmas pasta. Which is really
This is how dishes become famous, you know.
it's how traditions are made. You experiment.
I'll make somebody cook it over the holidays. I'm making everybody, all the adult kids, have to cook at least one meal at night.
Well, we have been cooking every night. It's actually really fun because in New York, where we live, we have about 1 square foot of counter space. So it's nice to have an extra counter to be able to chop things and cook them.
You know, I don't know how you all made it, but I don't think people understand the contrast between living in New York City in your tiny little place that's about as big as a couch. And, and then
we can basically fit a couch. Yeah.
And Monument, where you could fit 1,000 couches.
Yeah. Oh man, the 2-bedroom is like a mansion to us. So.
Oh, I bet. Well, so tell us who else is there with you. One of my favorites.
Well, aside from my lovely wife, Kelia, we are also hanging out with the family favorite, Darcy. As you probably heard the update, she had a couple hip surgeries and was limping for a while. Now she's back to her usual self, chasing after balls. But we've been hugging her up and having fun and taking her on hikes in the mountain. So it's just been a lot of fun to be home. And, you know, that is something you talk about a lot, is just the power of home. It's been a long year for me, I think. Most.
I believe, as you know, so much in the importance of place because it holds you during hard times. It's been that way for you all there, hasn't it?
Well, it's simple, and you don't think that the simple things in life are going to be the one that really bring you hope and healing. And like I said, it's been a really long couple of years for me, as it has been, I imagine, for most people listening. And, you know, I'm looking for these things to satiate the difficult aspects and emotions in my life. And I found just being in a home that's decorated, where you make meals, where you watch movies, where you walk outside with a Darcy dog running around. That has been the thing that my soul has needed, just being in a beautiful place. And that's why home is so important. And you always talk about that, but I'm just realizing how important it actually is in this season of my life.
Well, I think so. And, you know, I'm so happy that you're there because during my surgery, I had to sit on the couch for a couple of months and it held me. It was so fun. You know, I would go sit on the porch, watch the sunset, go in the back deck. These are old places. I mean, we've lived here for a long time and light the fire. And it's just so much fun. So thank you for taking care of it.
Of course.
I trust that Santa Claus will visit you there.
I hope he will, yes. Okay. I hope he'll bring an Amazon gift card.
There you go.
$2 million, hint, hint.
I know, really. Well, okay. So Nathan, what are some of your favorite memories of Christmas, or what, you know, a favorite tradition or favorite food?
There's so many. And like I was saying about being home, you know, the spectacular things in life are wonderful, but it's really the simple things that are the ones that mean the most to me as I look back. And, you know, recently, Keelan and I went out and got a Christmas tree and put it up, and it brought back all these memories of our whole family turning on really loud music. It was Open Christmas, or Michael W. Smith Christmas, or Amy Grant Christmas, and singing.
Even
really
Josh Groban.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Having a lot of across the pond and mountain internet and English internet problems. So
Oh, these 2 years. Oh my goodness. I hope everybody else is laughing as much as we are.
We are, but it's the simple things. It's laughing and giggling at bad internet. It's decorating the tree with loud Christmas carols. I want to say it's the amazing things, but it's simple things like that. It's, I think about our shepherd's meal. We're going to do that this year. We're going to get all sorts of cheeses and breads and fruits and turn out the lights just like the shepherds did. And, it's fun that me in my 30s with my new little family, even when we're apart from you guys, we're carrying on these traditions that you started so many years ago. Mm-hmm. But they're the simple things. They're the simple and beautiful things. And we're also adding ours with Christmas pasta. But yeah, decorating the tree, having the meals, laughing, giggling, watching Christmas movies. Mm-hmm. It's all those things. That's what I love about this season. And those are the things that really I look back and go, they're the most important to me.
Well, I think so. And each of you liked a different thing, but, we started out with the snowballs.
Oh, yes. Keely knows the snowballs. We've been eating them every day, much to
my goodness.
My scales chagrin.
I know. I eat more sugar at Christmas than the other time. Joel is making banana something. It's like banana bread with chocolate chips.
Nice. So that sounds good.
Right now, because that's all we have at the moment, because we haven't gone to the store. And I will make sugar cookies. Sugar cookies were my favorite when I was a little girl. And I think I'm going to make them this year too.
What about Hello Dollies? Are you going to make Hello Dollies?
I don't know. I don't know what I would get for the cream stuff that I put in.
Oh, the evaporated
milk. Or the milk.
For anyone who doesn't know what a Hello Dolly is, it's about the most decadent Christmas treat. I hesitate to call it a cookie, but it's just graham cracker crust and pecans and caramel and butterscotch and chocolate chips, and it's a lot, but it's
butter, and I mean it's just butter. One little tiny square, and it's about 1,000 calories. But we always do them at Christmas. That's true. And at Christmas,
calories don't exist at Christmas.
Yeah, we used to always have people over. We did last week, but we've never had it like we had it at home when Daddy would play the guitar and somebody would play the piano. Maybe you'd add a guitar, and the Moons would come over and play their instruments. And we always had kind of a little concert sort of Christmas thing, which was lots of fun.
It was lots of fun. And again, it's just so interesting, me at 33, thinking back to me at 13, 20 years ago, and thinking how all these little simple things have lasted and how those little simple things have actually been the rhythms of peace and joy in my life, especially after hard years. I've been to come home, do these things that we've always done. They're real anchors and rhythms for me.
I think that rhythms, the things that you do over and over and over again, they lay highways in your brain patterns.
Yes.
And they say, oh, I remember I am loved. I am held. I do have traditions. I do belong to a people. I do.
They're reset button. They can reset and remind you who you are and remind you of the joy and goodness.
Well, I always tell this story. It's in one of my books. I think it's in The Life-Giving Cable, but who knows?
You have many books.
I know. I don't remember the chapters in my books. But we were living at the house on the other side of the mountain. And I was up to my eyeballs probably in dough because I used to make the homemade herb and onion bread for the shepherd's meal. And then I would make cinnamon rolls for the next day that we would get up and eat. And so I was literally, I had about 6 loaves worth of bread in my bowl. And you came and you said, Mom, you have to come right now. You were always kind of, at that moment, whatever is happening, that was very important to you. And I said, well, Mommy's kind of busy right now. And you said, but Mama, it's really important. And so do you want to tell it or do you want me to tell it? So I said,
I'll give from my perspective. I remember being, how old was I? About maybe 9, 10, 11, somewhere there. Mm-hmm. And I remember having this sudden realization, I guess as part of me growing up, that how much you and Dad did for Christmas. Because I was watching you, we were decorating the house, and I was just gazing at the presents under the tree and realized, oh, someone put this all together. It's kind of like that. A realization when you get the realization of how blessed you are by God. I was realizing how much I've been blessed by you, and you were making cookies and things. And so I thought before I was going to get presents, I wanted to show you that I loved you before I got my presents. So
that's pretty amazing for an 11-year-old boy to remember to think, I want to love you first, Mama, before you love me. I was absolutely blown away.
Well, yeah. And so, but, obviously I didn't have a car and no one else could drive. Dad was at work. And so I said, Mom, you need to take me to the store. And so I think I, made up some excuse like, oh, I need, this for some, for a cookie I want or something. But I went and I snuck off into the store and I found a rose and I bought the rose.
And a red rose is my favorite.
Yes, of course. And I bought you a rose and I hid it all the way back home. I'm sure you saw, but I took it back home. And then didn't I rushed you into your little living room, into your little office. And I said, I want to give you something as a surprise.
It was in my bedroom at that point. I had a little couch in my bedroom where I would sit with my computer. And so we went back and sat on the couch together. And I said, okay, Nathan, what did you want to talk to me about? And I'm kind of have my mind on the bread. And then you pulled out this long stem red rose and you said, Mama, I wanted to give you something beautiful before you gave me all the presents that you always do because I love you. And oh man, shoot me now. Even now I can bring tears to my eyes because it was one of those moments when you realize, oh my goodness, your children are human beings. They're real people with a conscience, with a soul, with beauty, with the ability to give. And so you've always kind of done that to me. We and I are definitely partners in crime and kindred spirits, I would say, in life.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I'm not going to keep you forever because I've got more to do. You have more to do on the thing too. We'll talk again soon, but I do have to tell you that many people write me every week about the book that you came up with that we wrote together, different. And I think both of us in our own way feel different. And so I feel like we should write another book together someday. You just never know.
I know. I'm kind of curious. If you would ever be interested, you should write me or my mom if you'd ever be interested in kind of a follow-up book to Different, which was our story about me being raised with mental illness and learning disabilities and her raising a kid with mental illness and learning disabilities. But if you ever be interested in a follow-up to that for their insight, for their stories, let us know, because that would be, that's something that's been on my mind too. That'd be fun. I like working with you. It's not too bad.
I know. And then I could come to New York again. And
yeah.
We could have lots of fun because we could talk about it there.
We could pretend that we were writing and just go to plays and good restaurants.
I'm up for that. That could be my Christmas present. But anyway, okay. So everyone who thinks that we're actually have a book in mind, we do not have a book or a contract yet, but it's just been so much fun. I love working with Nathan. And also we really do have so many people who write us letters. And I think both of us have broadened even more in what we believe about all these issues. So
yeah,
maybe
because they're evolving and we grow as people and learn more and more and more. I thought it was done at 25. I thought I kind of figured everything out. Turns out there's more to life to learn about. Had no idea.
Well, I said last year, I'm 68. I think when I'm 70, I'm not going to sin anymore.
I think you'll be perfect when you're 70. I think that's the deal.
So far, it hasn't worked out. So anyway, well, God bless you all. Have so much fun. Give Darcy a kiss. I'm sure she misses me. She may not remember that she misses me with all the love she's getting from you all.
Well, she's looking at us right now. She's sitting on the stairs looking through the bars. So I will tell her for you.
Okay. Hi, Darcy. Oh, well. All right. Well, here's all my love, and I'll talk to you soon. Welcome to Tea Time Tuesday. I love doing Tea Time Tuesday. It takes me a little while to do it because all week long I am looking for songs and books and food and just things in my life to tell you about. But it's so much fun for me because it's just a slice of life. It's a slice of the organic or authentic life that the Clarksons live here right now in Oxford, UK, in England. And so I did earlier record a really fun part of this podcast with Nathan, who's in Colorado. We always have so much fun together. And 3 times the internet went out, so we had to edit it. And I hope that they were able to edit it well. I haven't listened to it; they haven't sent it to me. But anyway, know that we were trying. But anyway, I hope that you are all taking the time 10 times a day to breathe in peace in the midst of the adrenaline rush and the preparation and the friends and the children and all the things that you want to do. We try to simplify every year, and every year it's a little bit more complicated in the holidays than we think, but it's always a lot of fun. Now, because I am in the midst of wrapping and getting stocking stuffers. Stockings are a big deal in our house, more than anything. We just thought it's really fun to get fun little things for people. But then also, we are in the process of trying to be fair to people and get fun things that actually interest them. In our house, there will always be a whole bunch of books under the Christmas tree. As a matter of fact, my kids this week have been coming to me and saying, do you think Sarah or Joel or Nathan or Joy or the other people that we're having over, do you think they would like a book? And I think a book is always safe in this family. We really do sit around and talk about ideas and books and theology. And that's one of the things I love about living here, is that I'm still growing and learning and reading, and I love to be around people who help me to stretch even further. But anyway, the places, because of my hip and because I'm trying to be really good and I walk slower, I'm trying to not walk too far, which is hard not to do. And I have this back issue, but I'm doing great because I decided that even if it hurts a bit the rest of my life, I can walk, which is wonderful. But because of that, and because COVID is just raging over here, and it looks as though the UK government are going to react to it somehow. Oh, please, 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 Lord, not another lockdown. But, I'm not the most important person in this process. But we are hoping against hope that we can all gather and be able to be free and not have a lockdown. But anyway, because of all that, the places that we get most of our Christmas things are from Amazon, because it is the delivery service that saves my hip, where I can actually get a few things and a few books that I wouldn't be able to get otherwise. And then we have a dollar store that's amazing. It's not called a dollar store. It's called Tigers, and it's out of Sweden. But I get a lot of candles there and some tiny little fun things for the kids, for my grandkids. And I have noticed, it's the same in all over the world wherever I go, but museum shops, we are near many museums. And for those of you who have been to the Ashmolean Museum, which is really near my house, about 5 or 10 minutes away by walking, I was able to shop there and find some really fun things and things that could be returned in case people wanted to buy something else. But I love museum shops, and I love museum cafes, because today Joel met me over there to help me bring some of the things home that I was shopping with so that I didn't have to have any weight on my hip. And we were able to go into this great museum coffee shop with almost no one in the whole place, which was kind of fun. And then the other thing I have is I have markets. I go to my market. As you know, I go Wednesday for vegetables and Thursday for things. And it's kind of like a big open secondhand store with many, many stalls. And sometimes there are great things, sometimes not. But I always go there and say, I wonder what I can get this year. And I find things there. So those are my biggest places around. We will, in the next days, we'll have shepherd's meal on Friday night, and the reading, of course, about the shepherds from Scripture. We'll turn off all the lights and put candles everywhere. And then on Saturday morning, because I don't have quite the kitchen or the equipment here this year or last year, instead of making my homemade cinnamon rolls, we get these great Christmas buns, and they're like cinnamon rolls with just the tiniest bit of frosting, but they have these teeny weeny little chocolate chips inside of the buns, and also some tiny little orange, little pieces of orange that have been preserved that are spread throughout. So they're Christmas buns because they have the orange and the chocolate chips. So we'll have that with some of my cheesy sour cream eggs that you can read about in Life Giving Table. And then mid-time in the day, hopefully Thomas and Sarah and my 3 grandchildren will make it here after he teaches that morning in church. And then we are going to open stockings, make a mess of my house with presents and fun. And I said to the kids, I'm not quite up to doing fried chicken for 12 people. We will have 12 people at our house for several days. Our house, and we're sharing one other flat. But I will have all the meals for 12 people for several days. And so I said, in my smallish kitchen, I don't think I can fry chicken. That's our traditional Christmas Day meal because we don't do it all the time, that and then on Family Day. And so I said this year, how about if every single adult who comes to this gala at our house brings some kind of heavy hors d'oeuvre or food to share. So one of my kids is bringing baked brie with a little honey on baguettes, spread over baguettes. And I think Joel, my meat guy, is going to make some, pigs in a blanket, because Gretchen mentioned it this year and we got it in our mind to learn how to do them here in the UK. And I was able to find these incredibly wonderful looking coconut shrimp skewers. They're little shrimp on skewers. And I got enough for everybody to have 2 or 3, which will be fun. And everyone is we have already some salted roasted walnuts. And I sprinkle a little tiny bit of cinnamon sugar on them at Christmas to make them a different nut. Then I already toasted all the pecans and put a little bit of butter and olive oil on them. And then we'll have our snowballs, our sticky toffee pudding, and probably we will have a big amount of sugar cookies because they're lots of fun on Christmas Day. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing. But we're going to call it our charcuterie dinner. We're going to start a new tradition where everybody brings kind of like a potluck charcuterie. We're going to have all sorts of things just to share on Christmas night. And I think we will be quite exhausted by then, which will be a lot of fun. But I wanted to end up tonight to tell you about something that really meant a lot to me. For one thing, I'm calling this blog post this year, I offer you a red Christmas rose. And you'll hear Nathan tell the age-old story that has touched my heart for many years. I don't know when I started liking red roses as one of my very favorite flowers in all the world. I love dark red roses or any kind of red roses. But I think that him getting me a red rose on Christmas Eve before all the gifts of Christmas, because he loved me. You'll hear the story from his own lips in the rest of this wonderful time with him in my podcast today. But anyway, I did want to mention one more thing. I was listening to Joel's album. You know, I'm his mom. Of course, I'm going to listen to his beautiful album. And I wanted to tell you one more history about one of the songs. And it's in English, it's called Bring the Torch, Jeanette Isabella. And it's a wonderful, wonderful song. It's just delightful. Da 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 da. You all have probably heard it. And it touched my heart this year because I was watching a Call the Midwife Christmas special that Sarah sent my way because I love babies, obviously. Babies are amazing. Babies are a sign that life goes on, and our babies give us reason to be virtuous and to call us to our accountability, to call us to our best selves. So anyway, I watched that 2015 Christmas show I told you all about, special of the Call the Midwife. I'll probably watch the Chosen Christmas special again at some point, and I will watch James Herriot's Christmas special that will be, I thought it was on Christmas Eve. Sarah thought it was on Christmas Day, and Clay thinks it's on New Year's Day, but one way or the other, we will watch the James Herriot Christmas special. But I kind of had all this in my mind, and Bring the Torch, Jeanette Isabella is such a delightful little song. And the reason it's delightful is, it was such a delightful song. And it's about these two farm girls who heard about the baby Christ. And so the one of them says to the other, "Oh, bring the torch, Jeanette, Isabella." And they go into the city and tell all of their friends about the baby Christ who has been born and bring them to worship him. And it was such a delightful song that for a while, some of the people in the pubs adopted it as a song to dance to. But of course, it is about the birth of Christ. And so it was fun for me to see how it was written in France in the 1600s, the 17th century. And then it also was passed amongst many different people and then translated into English. And it's just this lovely song because Jesus came in the middle of life of real people who dance and eat and sing and cry and so on. And so I thought it was so fun to read about how it had gone through different renditions, but it had ended up as such a delightful song that multiple countries have adopted it as one of their central Christmas carols. Well, another thing, and I'm going to probably end on this, and then you'll get to hear Nathan and me, but as many of you know from time to time that I mention my friend Jackie. I feel like there are so many friendships in my life that God ordained because people came along my way at the right moment in the midst of all my moves and all the loneliness and all the isolation in different countries. And Jackie is a gift. And Jackie doesn't know yet that I'm doing this about her, but she's coming to my house tonight. She tries to come once a week from London. And we always do something together, have fun, create life together. But Jackie is one of these women who, once she embraced the Lord, she took a hold of him and said, "I am going to know you and love you." And she is full of the life and the vigor of the Holy Spirit of Christ. And she holds fast to him through all of her life situations, be they good or bad. But anyway, so the other day I wasn't expecting this, but I think it was the end of the day, and I actually missed it for a whole 24 hours. But Jackie wrote me this lovely verse, and it was a contemplation on Sally. And it just touched me to the core. But why would she even think about me? But she did. And she's coming tonight I'm going to go to my local little special Italian place. Special because we have a special going on right now. For £6, we can get a whole bunch of pasta. We're going to have tagliatelle tonight. But anyway, so Jackie sent this contemplation on Sally. And the reason it meant a lot to me is that we live pretty much a normal life. By that, I never read my books or my blog posts or my podcasts to my children. They don't need to hear those. And they don't read theirs to me. And Clay doesn't read anything. We kind of almost ignore the fact that we do have this wonderful opportunity to write and speak in all the different places. But sometimes you forget that God has miraculously used your steps of faithfulness, your heart to love him and worship him in a way that truly does matter. And so that's how I felt when I read this. And she called me and told me what it meant to her. Or we did it on Vox, I can't remember which. But anyway, Sally, you, full of wisdom, brimming with life, have seeded your soul into the souls of 4 more. You did not abide alone, but you entered into the soil cracked open and burst forth, shooting out branches, reaching further, stretching tent pegs wider than you ever imagined. And so I was talking to her. I said, "That's just amazing. It means so much to me." And I said, "So what does it mean to you? What made you write this?" And she said, "Something that I see in your life is that your life wasn't just about indoctrination or religiosity or whatever." These are my words, not hers, but the sentiment is the same. But she said, you sowed into the hearts of your children in such a way that now the fruit of your work is going through them into the world to bring life and beauty and messages and all that. And so basically she was saying that my work was an eternal, a kingdom work, because I brought them as much as I knew how, with all of my limitations, the love, the beauty, the goodness, the fun, the inspiration, the intellectual aspects of our God daily, moment by moment, into their presence as I got to know him and got to grow in my education. And I did it because I wanted to plant seeds in their lives so that they would become the next generation who grew seeds in the lives of other people, planted, watered, and grew seeds in the lives of other people. And so for Jackie to recognize that, and she's so sweet. She's always saying, so-and-so, Joel wrote this song, or Sarah did this poetry, or Joy did this podcast, or Nathan wrote this book and podcast that my son listens to. And so thank you, Jackie, my friend. But there are two things I want you to get out of this. Number one, take the time, just a little bit of time, to send some encouragement to at least one friend, because I can't tell you how much this meant to me. It surprised me. I wasn't expecting it. But for me, in the midst of the mundane, of the demands of my life right now, to have a friend say, do you know what? I see you. I see what you were trying to do, and I want you to know that it mattered. And that meant a lot to me, because most of our lives, it doesn't maybe seem like it to you, but most of our life is quiet and mundane and faithful and in the warp and woof of life. And she drew me out to see and to remember the hand of God was at work in all of the days of our seeking to be faithful. And what I want you to know is that when you write a message or an inspiration or an encouragement to a friend, it might totally bring light to their lives this year. But the second thing I wanted you to know is that those of you who are in my arena, I just love you. You are planting seeds that will grow. You are planting seeds that will grow way beyond your lifetime. And they will grow into the lives of your children, your grandchildren. They will be a legacy. Your faithfulness to love and worship God and to prepare for his coming this Christmas, and in all the ways you kiss your children and bless them at night, the ways that you are patient with your husband at the end of a tiring day, the ways that you read and explain and love and pray, you are planting the seeds in the next generation who will live fully and gloriously for God's kingdom because of your unseen faithfulness. So, with that, I want to end this part of Tea Time Discipleship today. And I hope that you enjoy Nathan's and my time together, and maybe you can see the simple movie that he was doing from his heart. Let us know if you think we should write another book. That's kind of bubbling up in us right now. But most of all, I just want all of you to know that in the warp and woof of this season, your love, your life, your feelings, your faith, your courage are something that will live for eternity. In the hands of the Holy Spirit, our little becomes a lot. In the hands of the Holy Spirit, we are the child who bring our fish and loaves. He is the one who makes it feed the thousands. And so I bless you, and I hope you have a wonderful time. I may or may not be back for a little bit because I'm going to be with my family. But I wanted you to know that I do consider it such a privilege to be able to be with you. And we did have over 40 people who took advantage of our helping them to be able to be a part of our membership. So thank you for spreading the news. Thank you for those of you who have joined our membership. And I just thought that was really fun that there were actually people who could be encouraged at this time of year. And I just want all of you to know that your prayers, your notes, your comments, every time I see some of you come across my pathway, I just thank God for you. I pray for you, and I bless you this year. So I will close right now with a blessing for all of us this Christmas. Dear Heavenly Father, I am indeed this year grateful, kind of amazed really, and kind of in awe of how your Holy Spirit uses very average, normal people to change the world. I thank you for Mary, the faithful mother who said, "Be it done to me according to your will." The woman who had a heart for Christ, who was willing to have the sword pierce her heart, who was willing to really be able to have faith enough to not know where she was going or what she was doing. Just like Abraham, she followed into an unknown place. She remained faithful, and she served alongside with Christ when he was alive on the earth. Lord, let us be those mothers who say, "Be it done to me according to your will," who are willing to bear the burden of knives that cross our heart in this very fallen place, but who are willing to say, "We believe with Mary, with Christ, that our small acts of faithfulness matter for eternity." Thank you that you care that normal people like us, like the shepherds, that we get to be those who praise you and worship you and live for you in our lifetime. Bless my precious friends with such a dear and wonderful time with you this Christmas season. And thank you, Lord, that you have allowed us to know you. Let the people who are walking in darkness see the great light that you are. We love you and pray in Jesus' name. And Lord, thank you for the beauty, the lights, the sweet children, all the things that we are blessed with this time of year. And comfort those, Lord, who are hurting and who need your healing and who need your help. And help us to be a part of giving to